example, somewhere between LinkedIn and Facebook, there's a new company that started just within the last year called Recruiter.com that's trying to do the same type of thing. I went out and explored around and set up a spot for myself. It's got nothing on it.
My question is not about the size of it, about professionalism.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
how it is used.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that, not that I look at these things, but I'm sure there are people who, you know, they're marketing themselves. You got a lot of consultants out there who are marketing themselves. Is becoming more and more robust in terms of people posting jobs out on LinkedIn, so it's an incredibly valuable tool there. Before I came to UConn, I did about 5 years of consulting, executive coaching, leadership development, career coaching, job search stuff. So in the middle of my profile, where I talk about I do, these are things I'm interested in, I believe I can help, embedded right in the middle with a lot of white space around. It's like, please let me know if I can help you. So just a statement. I got lots of people who would reach out to me because of that statement. So right now, I think it is still very professional in nature. I hope it does not change. But you know, I'm sure LinkedIn is paying a lot of attention to that kind of stuff. What else? Yes.
Good question. It's not that I have an issue with or against it, but I've been to many workshops for resume and how to create a resume, and there are a few items that are repeated constantly. That don't put your photo on your resume, don't put your age on your resume, you don't have the personal information. And then, you know, when I put my LinkedIn address on the top, they are, of course, they're going to go and check. Even if I don't put it there, they're going to look for me on that thing probably. And the first thing that comes up on my public profile, or you know, if they know that trick that you do, they can easily look at my profile and the whole idea of discrimination comes up. Which again, I'm not against it, and I have an account and I'm updating it constantly, but I don't know how it fits into the whole.
Yeah, it's a valid point. You know, there are things that I ask people to think about, however, in terms of one of my MBAs, I got a notice that it happened to be his birthday. So I shot him a happy birthday. You sure you want this out here? You know, so then I went and looked at his profile and said, we only had the month of the day, he didn't have the year. You know, that's okay. You know, you put on, you know, I graduated from Bates College not that long ago, but it was a while ago. So I don't put the date on it. You know, because age discrimination is real. So you want to try to protect yourself as much as you can. And that's why also I encourage people to have a very professional photograph. Because people will make snap judgments. It's just who we are as human beings. Is it right? No. Does it happen? Yes. So how do you manage that? So the other thing that's kind of interesting, you know, for example, I argued with an MBA who graduated from UConn in 2012. And when I looked at his resume, I'm going, he had additional information. And one of the things he had on his resume, professional gambling. I went, are you nuts? And he wanted a job down on Wall Street. And I go, well, wait, that kind of makes sense, because that's all that is gambling. That's all the stock investment is gambling. He goes, Bob, you wouldn't believe how many conversations I've gotten into because I have that on my resume. So it's like, all right, I'm not sure, I wouldn't recommend it, but if it works, we kind of go, okay, give it a try. What the heck? So it's the same kind of thing. So I'm always, LinkedIn is a little bit different where you can put some of your interests in that are different than just academic. So I often see people go hiking, fishing, playing tennis, whatever it might be. Those kind of things. It can work in LinkedIn, and what it creates is a more holistic picture of who you are. And my view is if you find people who don't want to connect with you just because of your picture, or your birthday happens to be on such a date, they're not worth connecting with. And if they work in a company that I thought I wanted to work in, that's what company I want to work in. I want a company, I want to work in a culture that I can thrive. So that being the case, I'm going to shift one more time because I think this stuff about fit is critically important. I want you to be able to figure out, as you are asking questions in the interview process about the culture, or what questions you ask, how would you describe this team? How would you describe the work environment? What's the culture that this office, this organization really thrives? What's the how would you describe changes that have occurred over the last 1, 2, or 3 years? Those are what you're also trying to figure out is and fit is incredibly important from the perspective of you and your boss. How many of you people are going to start your own company? Okay, you are your own bosses. You guys got it. The rest of us, we work for somebody, right? Which means, wouldn't it be nice to know if I'm going to potentially work for a person who I would define as a good boss? Which means you have to define what's a good boss. Anybody ever work for a good boss? Oh, you guys work for yourselves, though. But yeah, what I ask people to do is just describe that in behaviors. What are the characteristics or behaviors that made that individual a good boss? Because now you can begin to ask some questions that get at that. Because if I can find a job that a company that I'm really thrilled about, work that I really enjoy doing, I think the team, as it's been described, sounds really good. But if I'm not so sure about the boss, yikes, that can be me. Because let me tell you, the number one reason that people voluntarily leave a job is because of the boss. So it'd be nice to work for a good boss. Yes.
So I feel like this boss that you have now, maybe you should write a recommendation for them.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, it's that funky little relationship. Can I write a recommendation for my boss? I would say yes, because you have real life experience of what it's like working for this person. They in turn can write a recommendation for you as well if they want to. I have a little bit of I have a wonderful relationship with my MBAs, but I don't know them well enough to write a recommendation. I don't know them well enough actually to even endorse many of them, because I know they're getting a good, rich academic experience, but I've never seen it in action. And so I always want to base recommendations and endorsements on things, people that I've had actual wonderful interactions with. But yeah, I don't see why not. And the more recommendations you get, the better things you look like your program. Yes.
You give a lot of tips on how to start a conversation with people that you have some sort of connection with, some sort of common background or mutual friends or anything like that. But say you find a company you're really interested in, but you don't have any connection. How do you recommend reaching out and starting a conversation with like a complete stranger?
Well, there's a couple of things. One, you can oftentimes companies the recruiters who work for those companies, they'll have a LinkedIn profile. And if you go to that company's page in LinkedIn, there's an option where you can look at employees there. If you find a recruiter, you can send a LinkedIn invitation to recruiters. Recruiters love this kind of stuff, by the way. I love recruiters until I don't. What I mean by that is some recruiters are gatekeepers, and we don't ever want to get them angry with us. But if they are a roadblock, we find a way to go around. But in this case, if you find a company you're interested in, they have a site on LinkedIn. If you find somebody who's a recruiter, send them an invitation. And when you tell why, say, I noticed that you work for this company. I'm going to be graduating from the UConn School of Engineering in such and such a date. Fascinated to find out more about your organization. Please accept my invitation. Let me know if we can have a conversation. So you look for those kind of things. Now, if you can't find a recruiter, I'm getting a high scientist pizza game. Then what you end up doing is more classic network. You begin to talk to people. You go, hey, one of the companies I'm interested in, XYZ Corporation. Do you know anybody there? No, I'm afraid I don't. Who else do you think I should talk to? So you begin to expand your network. Usually within 4 or 5 steps, they're going, oh yeah, I happen to know the person. Let me connect with that person. So again, that's classic networking kind of stuff. You do that more outside of LinkedIn than inside. So where are we?
We will continue. You guys can keep asking questions, but we're also going to start serving food and whatnot. So if you guys want, please eat, sit, mingle, chat with Bob.